It's an uncomfortable place for me. I have to here.
Thank you all. Welcome to the hour late tourism meeting again.
No, I know, but it's still...
I need a motion to approve the minutes of the October 3rd, 2018 meeting.
I'm not on.
Frazier. Mr. Stroud, would you?
I was going to say, man, I got to stop meeting.
You're missing a wheel.
You vote second on it?
I wasn't there.
How, you weren't there?
That's what I got to say.
Mr. Driscoll, you were at the last meeting, would you second that?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll get right into the agenda. Tourism has a light agenda, so I'll hand it over to Joanne.
I just have one action item this morning. This is our annual agreement with the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council. We apply for matching funds every year. A portion of that goes to the Tourism Department and a portion goes to the Adirondack Regional Tourism Council, along with the other 6 counties in the Adirondack, so each of us contribute to that. I did include, I think everyone at the table has a little bit of an outline of some of the things that we work with ARTC on. They have a website, they have a complete marketing plan, and think of it as we at the county level, the next level up is the Adirondack region, the next level up is Isle of New York. So it's that progression of brand awareness and promotion. So this would just be our annual agreement with them for funding.
Anybody have any questions? I need a motion to accept that. Ms. Frazier? Mr. Stroud? Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Thank you. So Happy New Year. We haven't met since October. I would like to introduce Paul Tackett, who's with us today. Paul is our Assistant Tourism Coordinator, and he's been with us for about 8 months. So he's just going to help me walk through a little bit of this today. Tanya is at ABA, the American Bus Association, so she will report at next month's meeting. Many of our partners, stakeholders are at ABA with her. The Georgia and the Steamboat Company, Fort William Henry. It's a good place for her to be meeting one-on-one with the, she's the group tour operator and she's meeting with the buyers that are out there and promoting our area. So promoting from a Warren County Lake George level and also with our Adirondack partners. Clinton County is there, the Wild Center, and a couple of others. So again, that connection between the county and the next level up to the Adirondacks. So we'll hear from Tanya next month. A little bit of a review. So we usually start out with some of our key performance indicators, and that would be, we'll start with this Smith trend. I did just receive the December report, so I'll send that to the committee maybe this afternoon when I get back to the office, but a quick little recap. We were up a little bit in October, again in November, December down slightly. Year to date, so for all of 2019, we were up 3.9%. And I know Jean likes to know what does 3.9%, specifically that is 38,000 rooms. So we sold more than 38,000 rooms more in 2018 than we did in 2017. So again, that's that group of hotels that subscribe to the STR report. And I think in October, I was hoping that we would be over that 1 million room mark, and we were. So when I look back, the records we have date back as far as 2003, and in 2007 and 8, we were just over 1 million. I think 1,016,000, so 1,020,000 is the highest we've been in terms of number of rooms sold since 2003. So I would say that all in all, 2018 was a good year. A couple of other things to consider, and certainly Mike is here from the Treasurer's Department, and he'll report on sales tax collections are up, OCTAX collections are up, and we'll also address short-term rentals. We'll be subscribing to a report that will be very similar to the Smith Trend report from a company called All the Rooms, and then we'll get the same supply, demand, ADR, average daily rate, all of that, so we can factor that together with the hotel report. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the OCTAX meeting. So we introduced our fall landing page to you back in October, and it was the first week in December, we did launch our winter landing page. So Paul's going to click over to the actual live page, and if you, I did send this out to all of our businesses as soon as it launched, so that they could make their staff aware that this would be the go-to place, whether it's your front desk office people, anyone who, hey, I'm checking in for the weekend, what's going on. So first of all, this is just our home page, but if you scroll down a little bit, a couple of nice things slide by. Our top events are always on the home page. And then Paul's going to go back up to specifically the winter landing page. So all of our winter advertising will direct people to this winter landing page. So a little bit similar to the fall with those flip boxes, and there's content under each of those. Most of them are blog stories. Some of them might be specific events. And scrolling down a little more, just a little interactive animation over there. But as each of the little animation things, come and go on the screen, if someone were to click on those, then they would find out more information about what they happen to click on. So we asked all of our businesses, bookmark that page, let your staff know, then you'll know what's going on during the winter months in the area. Where are we next?
If I could, that's a
Sure.
really useful tool from a hotel's point of view. Hardest thing to do now is answer the question, what is there to do? Or what's open? And so every property is trying to figure it out. So we waste that energy. What do we have, 100 some properties open right now?
Can you go back to our website and go to the event page? So I'm not sure if I pointed this out before, but it's a relatively new development. I know the website is always in development, but on the events page in particular, you can scroll down a little bit and, stop right there. So on that page in particular, you'll see the next week. But let me get my glasses out. Does it say the next week or the next 2 weeks? So at a quick click of a button, you'll be able to say to your guests, hey, here's what's going on 2 weeks from now, or someone calls you on the phone, should I book something a couple of weeks from now? So that's a handy, instead of scrolling through, the entire calendar of events, this weekend, next week, next month. I think there's also a drop-down month by month. So what's going on in July, just click to the month of July on the drop-down, and it'll take you right there. Okay, so now we'll go back to the PowerPoint and a couple other things that are going on. So of course we're always digital and social media, and just a little recap over the year 2018, we did increase our Facebook followers 20%, and our Instagram followers are up considerably, 68%. People are still on Facebook. We have incredible engagement on Facebook. I know I tell you that every time we're here, but it's still working for us. And we're working on Instagram. Again, those numbers are up, and we'll continue to focus on that. So we have a couple of samples for you, Facebook things that we've done most recently. Cozy Cabins. The last time I was at my regional meeting, everyone at the table was talking about the request for Cozy Cabins. So Eric in our office wrote a blog story. We promote that on social media. We put $1,000 behind this post on Facebook. 2,500 likes, 500 shares, and when they click that, it goes back to our website. So 12,000 people went to our website. Once they're there, then they can click around and find a place to stay or some dining or some other things to see and do. But 12,000 people went to our website to find out about Cozy Cabins. And they're reading that. I jotted down the amount of time, 1 minute and 28 seconds. So they're taking the time to read the blog story. So that happened to be just one in December. In January, I've mentioned before that we have a monthly theme. So January is Ice Bar, February is Winter Carnival, March is Maple. So we start in January with ice bars. 4,800 likes, 600 comments, 2,500 shares, and almost 20,000 people went to our website. So again, the same amount of time, 1 minute and 30 seconds, they're reading the stories and clicking around the website to find other things to see and do while they're here. So in addition to just the blog about the 7 websites, the 7 ice bars, we had a specifically Winterfest at West. We had one about the Sagamore. We have one about the Funky Ice Fest at the Adirondack Pub. So the event posts seem to perform really well for us. And again, send people back to our website, send people to those events. So I'm kind of hoping that the ice bar people say, wow, we had so many people here, it was just crazy this year, if our social media traffic is any indication of that. And in addition to, let's say, the Sagamore is having a really great ice bar, the town of Bolton, and the supervisor is here, but Bolton on ice. So there are businesses around town, fire pits around town. They're just trying to get people. They're at the venue, but there's more to see in the area, whether it's any of the smaller communities here.
We've been trying to promote the shoulder season and of course the winter season for some time. No question, this has become one of the premier winter events for us. And the nice thing about it is sometimes the lake's frozen, sometimes it's not. Yeah, so it's an event that's not dependent on the lake being frozen.
Thank you. This year, it looks like the lake is going to be frozen. We're going to have
Do we have ice?
outhouse races
Okay.
and everything else that goes along with the carnival. Your office is able to modify your postings depending on...
In a heartbeat.
Good.
I had a snowmobile post ready to go, but the snowmobile trails aren't open right now. So
Yeah.
everything that's the wonderful thing about digital and social media is you can get the word out in minutes, in just minutes. I'm going to ask Paul to go to just Google for a minute. I just got a message from the gal up at Ag Workshop who helps us with our SEO, and we've been really trying to promote certainly ice bars. So if you go to Google and you type in, what is an ice bar? Wikipedia comes up first. Okay, I'll give that to Wikipedia, but we're second. We are over New York City. We are over Europe. So between Ad Workshop and Paul and Eric in our office, they're not only writing the descriptions to the events or writing the blog story, but it's the SEO that goes behind it. So they optimize certain words that people will search for. Are they searching for ice bar? Are they searching for Lake George Ice Bar, Lake George Hotel, Lake George Cozy Cottages? And those are the things that Google will kind of search out, and they'll say, oh, this Visit Lake George has a really good and in-depth listing or multiple listings or stories about this ice bar. So we get that authentication from Google, which is, it's just priceless. So it's worth us spending money on optimizing these listings to come up second when someone says, I don't know what an ice bar is. I think I'll just type it in and figure it out. So that was just kind of, a little win this morning when she sent me that message, and I said I'm on my way up to my
Can you click on
tourism committee.
the images, more images?
Go right ahead and click over there.
I just want to see.
I did not do that, so
No, just one.
I don't know if any of those are ours, but
Either way, it's just
yep.
something.
And so often, people will get the answer they want by just typing in a quick, word or two or question on Google. They may not get to our website, but in this case, if we're number 2 up there, then they can read that little snippet, and I was just very happy about that.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Joanne, I just tried to type in ice bar in Google on my phone, and Google is kind of crazy. It knows where you are.
It does.
So one of the things that happens when you talk about these SEO
Yep.
type feedbacks is, I pulled it up and it said Lake George, of course, because I'm right near Lake George, but what if we're down in the city? in what pops up, because Google tends to first say, where are you?
Mhm.
And then we'll bring you the closest ones first. So I wanted to put that in perspective, that I question some of the numbers. That's all.
You are absolutely right, and my sister's in Westchester, and I'll go back and ask her to type it in, and we'll see where we come up.
Awesome.
All right. Deal. Okay. What else have we got going on? Last year at the beginning of the year introduced something new that we worked on in 2018 and moving a little bit into 2019, and those were our short length videos. So we contract with Working Pictures. They produced our summer commercial that happened to win that Addy Award last year or year back. They produced our fall commercial that I showed you. And now we're moving into short-length videos. So we have a handful of things that are kind of like a little niche, but we will promote those on digital and social throughout the upcoming year. So they're just putting the finishing touches on. So this was our factory outlet shopping. So kind of Paul went up and took a picture so that you can see the cameraman and the crew and the talent and kind of that behind-the-scenes thing. But then over on the right-hand side, the finished product, and these are just some stills, and there will be videos, but we'll have the stills also. But you know, the gals with their Vera Bradley umbrellas and shopping outside one of the malls. So we will promote shopping. Certainly all year factory outlet shopping is very popular and ranks high in our Google searches, but specifically back to school and then Christmas, November, December, when maybe there aren't a lot of events, but there's a lot of back to school and Christmas holiday shopping going on. So that'll be some of the focus on the shopping video. Another video that we're working on, whether it's rainy day or spring break, indoor things to do. So again, you know, the videographer and the kids that are all getting ready to go rock climbing, and then the finished product, they're having fun rock climbing. They also went to Great Escape and did the indoor water park and the trampoline park. I think that's where the young guy up on the left-hand side is. So we will start using that video during the March, April when the schools are on break. So if people are going to Florida, well, they're going to Florida, but maybe they're in the driving zone of a couple of 3-4 hours and they haven't made plans, and the kids are like, oh, Mom, what are we going to do for vacation? So they can come here. They could probably still do some outdoor skiing, but if they're not into winter sports, then we offer them some indoor things to do on their spring break. In addition to that, they're just putting the finishing touches on Maple Days video. And there was one more, ice bars. They went to Sagamore last year, so they're going to Funky Ice Fest and Winterfest at Earlowette this year. So those are the handful of short videos that we'll be promoting throughout the year. At the end of the year, this contract will be over with Working Pictures, and then I'll come back to you and we'll have to go out to bid again. But in the meantime, I think they've done a really good job for us.
Don't mind. Joanne, is that totally funded by us, or are some of these businesses contributing? Now, remember last year, didn't the Great Escape do something with us in joint marketing?
That was several years ago. We are funding this. These businesses did not contribute to this.
Free advertising. Okay. Thanks.
What else you got, Joe? I think that's it?
Is that the end of my slides? And, quick on the Adirondack Regional Tourism that we approved that matching funds. They have a new brochure coming out that will be distributed at the Info Center, at the Welcome Center, and the one other thing. Oh, yes, that cooperative Ski 80K campaign. So in addition to, the big mountains in the Adirondacks, the social media post on the left was for West Mountain. They're also doing Gore Mountain, and there's a giveaway for some tickets at West and Gore and all of the other mountains. So again, that's that cooperative advertising and promotional effort. That might be it on my slides. And the one thing that we did want to share with you, we talked about the poly bags that we have produced for many, 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 many years. And we did decide to go with a reusable bag that we had to price around. We really wanted something made in the USA if we could, and we wanted a local vendor, and we tried to keep it under $1. It does have a you know, a flat bottom so that you could, it's not a really big shopping bag like you'd probably take to Price Chopper, but we can use it if there are some groups coming into the area.
Right.
I'd like to have our businesses each have a couple, or, you know, a small quantity if they have some special guests that they'd like to share them with. I'd like to get them to some of our information centers. If someone comes up to the desk and they're having a nice conversation, they can hand the bags out. We just did a limited quantity of these, and we'll see how they go this year. But I thought the color was nice, the messaging was nice, and moving out of that plastic bag and into the reusable bag realm.
Very nice.
So I think that's all I might have.
Good job.
So we
All
can
right,
take that.
I'll
Yes,
open
yes,
to the
yes.
floor. Anybody have any questions that they'd like to ask Joanne?
Actually,
or-
John, grab me one, okay?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for your time and a minute to talk about a little frustration I have in terms of digging out information. And I'm wondering how long it's been since we've taken a look at all the occupancy tax money we've gotten and distributed, and a big part of it goes to this team right here, and done an analysis, an independent analysis in terms of are we getting our money's worth for what we're doing. I'm not smart enough to do that myself, but I'm wondering how long it's been before we've really done an independent analysis, and not from Mr. Dietrich and his team, because they're maybe not so independent that I would think others might be. But I'm just curious, have we done that?
Probably not since the BBG&G report, you know, where they came in and interviewed and did a little behind the scenes. Actually, I think it might be what you're looking for is a little different track than that, but we can always
It's just a lot of
find
money.
a couple dollars in our
And
budget.
I don't know if anybody here is really attuned enough to really dig in to say, are we doing the right things with this? And are we getting the returns? And part of it is my frustration that we see some opportunities that come by every once in a while, but the county doesn't have any money to do any big bets or long putts on something new that might come up. And I'm hoping that we can sometime in the future get to the point where the county does have some money, where we can take some big bets. And is it a convention center? I don't know what it is, but right now I'm somewhat frustrated because it just doesn't seem there's a lot of control. There is oversight, but you know, do we have someone that's really smart to say, we could do this, we could do that? So I'll talk about it some more as I do some more digging. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Yeah, yes.
I was just going to suggest, Mr. Supervisor, that the tool that I believe the chamber
Yeah, we have that.
CDB's brought up,
Mhm.
so that has a measurement system in it. It's not going to be perfect. You put in numbers and it calculates something and probably gives you a red, yellow, green kind of thing to give you a feel for the ROI.
per event.
Per event. Yeah, the value in it is it gives you a consistent set, in the Logic Association view, gives you a consistent set of metrics to look at it. And so then you can then go test. Did it deliver what you thought? If no, why? You know, those kind of things. But I wanted to remind you that. Was
Right, we just got that started last year, and I think if we get work with Gina, she probably could give us some reports on that from the tourism, from the...
Well, we do
Sure.
reporting for each of the events that the county funds, and I think Gina does reports for CDB
Mhm.
events.
All right, Mike, we could work on something like that to get some kind of a report going. I mean, how accurate it's going to be is hard
Well,
to say,
let's-
but...
let's, you know, I was thinking maybe something like some Madison Avenue people or some people in the state that, you know, kind of really understands this stuff to come in and give us that independent view. It's just my thought, and one of the things that I'd like to see if we can move forward with this year.
Thank you. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Back in the day, the regional planning board did those economic return on investment things. And they were well done. Like, what does American cost us? What does American bring in? And it was an outside agency that they got that took care of that out of college at Plattsburgh. They might have something where they fund it. So that might be worth checking.
Something to look into.
I did actually check with, there's an agency called Placemaking out of Plattsburgh, and they work with SUNY Plattsburgh, and we were going to do a survey through them. We are doing a survey in-house. But the price tag was kind of high, and I didn't have that in my budget for this year. So we thought that we would consider that next year, but you know, they have a statistician, they have staff from SUNY, Plattsburgh, so there are a number of people, but that would be just one. You know, if we're spending a couple of dollars, then we would get quotes from a number of agencies.
Anything else? And nothing else? Motion to adjourn the tourism and go right into Octax. Dennis is sick today, so